Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to another weekend review, reviewing all of this weekend's Premier League and Championship action, starting off in the Premier League where it finished Brentford 2, Watford 1. Dennis put Watford in front in the 24th minute before goals from Janssen and Bremo, all within the last 10 minutes, sealed the win for Brentford. What a huge result for them, great turnaround, and they can really build on that now after being a bit inconsistent as of late. As for Watford though, they'll be gutted and you do wonder if that could have a bit of a big impact on their season. Manchester City 1, Wolves 0 was the score at the Etihad. Raul Jimenez was sent off in a stroke of half time just 1 minute after he got his first yellow card. That was really stupid sending off, that was really poor from him. And then Raheem Sterling gave City lead in the 66th minute from the spot. So yeah, a really good win for City. For Wolves, they will be frustrating because maybe they could have felt like they could have got something out of that. But for City, it's just a standard win, not the best performance you've ever seen or anything like that, just a solid win. Speaking of a similar sort of thing, on Steven Gerrard's return to Villa Park, to Anfield, Mo Salah gave Liverpool 1-0 win over Aston Villa from the spot in the 67th minute. So yeah, solid win for Liverpool. Gerrard on his return to Villa, I think he will be upset. Maybe there's a penalty shout or two for Villa, but in the end it wasn't to be. Liverpool held on to the win, and yes, big result for them just to keep in touch with Manchester City, so they'll be happy with that. As for Villa, it's disappointing, but this is always going to be a free hit. Moving on then to the final one of our title contenders, and they also secured a narrow win. They beat Leeds 3-2. Rafinha gave them the lead in the 28th minute before Mason Mount and Jorginho put Chelsea 2-1 up. There was, however, an equaliser for Leeds through Gerhardt in the 83rd minute. However, another penalty from Jorginho, 94th minute, gave Chelsea the win, and yeah, a big win because obviously we know they haven't been in the greatest of form recently, so hopefully that'll be the turning point for them. As for Leeds though, they'll be gutted. A more comfortable win this time for Arsenal as they beat Southampton 3-0. Goals from Lacazette, Odegaard and Gabriel sealed the win. So yeah, solid win for Arsenal. Obviously the form has been a bit shaky for them recently, so that's a big win for them. As for Southampton, they were poor, but at the end of the day, this was always going to be a free hit. But yeah, still disappointing. And then, of course, the other major talking point was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang not being involved for disciplinary reasons. Yeah, it's not great to see from the club captain at all, really, is it? But good to see Mikel Arteta taking harsh action. But moving on, Norwich 0, Manchester United 1 was the score at Carrow Road. Cristiano Ronaldo with the goal of the game in the 75th minute from the spot. Yeah, there was some debate over a penalty, or was it a penalty or not. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. But yeah, still United, they weren't at their best here. They still do look like they're getting used to the Ralph Rangnick style of play, if you like. But at the end of the day, a win's a win. Ronaldo bails them out again. As for Norwich, I think they will be slightly disappointed not to get anything out of this. Moving on then, Leicester 4, Newcastle 0 was the score at the King Power Stadium. Really solid win for Leicester. Tielemans, Daka, Tielemans again and Maddison with the goals for Leicester, and yeah, Leicester will be really happy with that. Solid performance, they were back to their best here. However, as for Newcastle, with a bit of pick-up in the last two games, albeit against weaker oppositions, this is a poor result for them because they really would have wanted to build on that one, but they really just haven't been able to do so at all, have they? But moving on now, Burnley 0, West Ham 0 was the score at Turf Moor, and yeah, this was an interesting game. I think West Ham coming into this one would be the slightly more disappointing side with a draw, and yeah, the stats of that game kind of reflects that West Ham were the better side here, but yeah, they couldn't get the win. I think they'll be upset with that because yeah, their form has taken a bit of a dip recently as well. So just to get back on track with the top teams in the fight for the European place, they would have wanted that. But for Burnley though, it's a solid enough point, I would say. Moving on, Palace 3, Everton 1 was the score at Selhurst Park. Gallagher and Tompkins gave Palace a 2-0 lead before Rondon pulled one back. But it was Conor Gallagher again in the 93rd minute that sealed the win for Palace. And yeah, this is a good result for Palace. They were really good here, obviously been on a bit of a shaky run recently, so yeah, they were back to their best here. As for Everton though, they did see a slight pick up, but yeah, in the end it was just another poor performance from them, and yeah, Rafa Benitez, I just don't know. But moving on now to the Championship, and it finished Huddersfield 1, Coventry 1 at the John Smith Stadium. Danny Ward gave Huddersfield the lead in the 18th minute before a goal from Matty Gooden in the 92nd minute sealed the win, sealed the point 3 for Coventry. And yeah, this was quite an even game. you probably say, if anything, Coventry were the best side here, and maybe should have got the win. Slightly disappointed with that. Huddersfield need to pick up their form a bit, really, if you think about it. But moving on, it was Swansea 1, Forest 4 at the Liberty Stadium. Zinkernagel Graben score for Forest before Peterborough won back, but then goals from Johnson and Cafu sealed the win for Forest. And yeah, Steve Cooper's return to the Liberty Stadium, and it really couldn't have gone much better. They were outstanding here. He's got them Forest playing some really nice stuff, Steve Cooper, so yeah, he's definitely doing a really solid job there. But moving on then, it finished Birmingham 2, Cardiff 2 at St Andrews. Birmingham got raced into a 2-0 lead before half-time with goals from Deeney and Simchick, but goals from Kiefer Moore and McGuinness sealed the point for Cardiff. And yeah, I think Cardiff will definitely be happy with the two sides coming from behind. But yeah, Birmingham will be disappointed not to get the win here. That's for sure, because I really felt like that was there for the taking, I should have thought. But yeah, moving on, it finished West Brom 1, Reading 0 at the Hawthorns. And yeah, a solid result for West Brom. It should have really been more. The only goal of the game coming from Robinson in the 60th minute to give West Brom the lead. It should have been more, really. Reading were poor, they just sat back, and West Brom were definitely the dominant side here. So yeah, they'll be happy with the win at least. There's 2 wins on the trot now after a slightly sticky run for Valor and Ishmael's men, so they'll be very happy. As for Reading, still only 2 points out of the relegation zone, so yeah, you never know if a bad run of form hits. But moving on, Stoke 0, Middlesbrough 0 was the score at the Bet365 Stadium. Stoke, yeah, it wasn't a great performance, to be honest. Very even game. I think the home crowd would have maybe expected a bit more. Middlesbrough, yeah, it's a solid point on the road. Chris Wilder has definitely improved a lot since he's come in, so that's positive signs at least. But yeah, on the whole, I think Stoke will just be disappointed not to be able to build on that win at QPR last weekend. But moving on then, it finished Preston 2, Barnsley 1 at Deepdale. Brown gave Preston a lead in the 57th minute before Collie Woodway struck an equaliser, but it was Johnson 12 minutes from time who gave Preston a win. And yeah, solid first win for Ryan Lowe. Decent start to his time as manager. I mean, it wasn't the easiest of wins against poor opposition, but a win's a win. But for Barnsley, with Peterborough winning, it's a really concerning result now. They're starting to get cut adrift at the bottom, you have to say. But moving on, Peterborough 2, Millwall 1 was the score at the Western Home Stadium. Bradshaw gave Millwall a lead in the 16th minute before 2 quick goals from Peterborough, from Clark Harris and McNamara own goal, gave Peterborough the win, and that's a really big win. Takes them within 2 points of the relegation zone. So yeah, big win for them. As for Millwall, it's like the same old thing once again. They get close to the playoffs, and then yeah, they just fall away again. They'll be so disappointed with that. Really, I think they will. But moving on, it finished Luton 1, Fulham 1 at Kenilworth Road. Mitrovic, that man again, in the 19th minute, gave Fulham the early lead, but Adebayo equalised in the 62nd minute, and Luton managed to hold on for a point. And yeah, it's a solid result for Luton, 12th on the table. Still on the table. Obviously they have been quite inconsistent as of late, so they'll be looking to build a run now to hopefully launch a playoff drive in the second half of the season. But as for them, it's disappointing, but yeah, they just need to start picking up more wins more consistently, you say. But moving on, Hull 2, Bristol City 2 was the score at the Wycombe Stadium. Longman gave Hull a lead in the 3rd minute before Semenyo pulled one back in the 54th minute, but goals from Honeyman and a late one from Matty James gave Bristol City the points. So yeah, Bristol City, a decent enough point on the road. Hull, yeah, it's a draw once again, still on an unbeaten streak, but yeah, maybe this is the sort of game maybe targeting to win, so I think you could probably say it'd be mixed feelings for both of these sides. But moving on then, it finished Derby 1, Blackpool 0 at Pride Park. Blanche with the only goal of the game in the 51st minute. So yeah, that's a good result for Derby, and you'd probably say they just about deserve the win. It's quite a tight game, but I'd say they just about deserve the win. So yeah, they'll be very happy with that. But as for Blackpool, it's a disappointing result. They're not on a great run of form at the moment. They may want to turn it around. You do feel like maybe after a bit of a momentum boost at the start of the season, it could be starting to fall away a bit. But moving on, it finished Bournemouth 2, Bournemouth 0, Blackburn 2 at the Vitality Stadium. An own goal from Ben Pearson in the 21st minute gave Blackburn the lead before they scored again in the 65th minute to get the win. And what a great result this is for Blackburn. I keep writing them off, but yeah, I think they are serious contenders to stay in the playoff positions because they're playing some really, really good stuff at the moment. As for Bournemouth, it's another concerning result, and yeah, it's fair to say that the teams behind are catching them up. The gap's only 3 points now, so yeah, they'll want to get a good run. But anyway guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, let me know your thoughts, comments, download, follow on Twitter, things which made for daily football news and subscribe to us on the screen. I really greatly appreciate it. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.